This is a hard call because they're both really good. But I think of the two, cheers, beautiful people. Welcome back to Agent Oak. My name is John. We're going to do a first sip here. Actually, it's going to be two first sips. A wonderful gentleman by the name of Clint Hart, who lives about 3 hours north of me in Michigan. We got to talking on a Discord channel, and he was really eager to share some stuff with me, and for the channel. And this is Evernorth stuff. He sent me quite a few samples, and I'm so eager to get into them. These two in particular are Arctic Spirit volumes 1 and 2. And I thought we would put them in the glass here, check them out, and see what I thought of them. I haven't had any of the Arctic Spirit. The only Evernorth that I've had is a barrel pick that I got through one of the YouTube channels that I follow. And when I had that, it was like, oh, this is really good. And he got a hold of me and says, hey, I love Evernorth, and I would like to share this with you. So he sent me a bunch of samples, and these are two of them. So let's put these in the glasses, and let's see what we think. Arctic Spirit Volume 1 is a straight rye whiskey that is finished in tawny and ruby port wine barrels. It comes in at 116 proof. And Volume 2 is a bourbon rye blend that comes in at 108 proof. So let's get to this. Volume 1 on the nose. Oh, okay. I get vanilla. I get vanilla. I get a little bit of a fruit. Almost comes off like maybe a little bit of cherry, a little bit of strawberry, maybe. Okay, now some of the rye notes are coming in. I get a little bit of a freshness, a little bit of an herbal or a vegetal note. I don't get anything off. I don't get any kind of funky off smell because of the ethanol. This smells really, really good. Now on the nose, I don't really get a whole lot of the port, but I've got issues with my nose. But let's get this on the palate. Oh my. The fruit flavor is still there. It's dialed back a little bit because a lot of the rye, a lot of that rye comes in. But it's wild because none of the rye things punch you in the face. It's just, I think this was just really well blended, so nothing comes in and pokes you and has any kind of unpleasantness to it. I'm getting the port on the finish. The finish is pretty good. Oh, I know a lot of channels said that the Arctic Spirit. Now I'm not exactly sure which one, or maybe both. That the Arctic Spirit was, one of their favorites, and from what I'm tasting in the glass here, I can see why. Now, on subsequent sips, that fruit comes a little bit more. but those just really nice, pleasant rye aspects kind of right in there with it. I can totally see what they mean by this is just so beautifully blended, because you get the fruit, you get a little bit of vanilla, you get those rye aspects, you get a little bit of, I mean, it's a little sliver of mint, enough to know it's there, enough to remind you that it's a rye. That rye spice is there. It's really nice. A little bit of a herbal component to it, and then as that rides into the finish, the oak and the port, and oh my goodness, it doesn't have a peppery finish like I get from some ryes. And in the as far as this one's concerned, I kind of do like the fact that pepperiness isn't there, because the other aspects of the finish can shine through. And I don't think that the pepper would really mesh well with that port finish. So, I mean, Dan and Sean were really thinking when they made this. Oh wow, that is so good. By the way, I said Dan and Sean. For those of you who don't know, Evernorth is owned by Dan and Sean, Dan Shook and Sean Paisley, who are the Bourbon Junkies. They just make plain good whiskey, guys. And yeah, I can see why the Arctic Spirit, at least Volume 1 so far, got such praise. But let's go on to Volume 2. Again, this is a 108 proof bourbon and rye blend. Okay. Now, I don't get a lot of, I think more, to me, a little bit more of the bourbon characteristics come out on the nose than the rye does. I mean, there's a little bit of a freshness that makes me think rye, but mostly I'm getting the bourbon aspects. Like I get a little bit of caramel, and there's another sweetness in there that I can't quite place, but I get caramel, I get vanilla, that other sweetness, it's almost a creamy sweetness, like it comes through like a sweetened condensed milk kind of sweetness. But yeah, that nose is really good. Let's get this on the palate. Oh, wow, that is good. Yeah, these guys know what they're doing with the blending. Wow. Dan, Sean, wow, this, That's wild. I get a little bit of a fruit in there, but then I get a little bit of a caramel and the slightest little bit of almost a little bit of a chocolate to it, which is crazy to me, because I don't think I didn't figure I'd pick that up in a bourbon rye blend. Like I said, it has the crisp attributes of the rye, and you can get some aspects of the rye, but I think for the most, I was going to say for the most part, the bourbon runs the show, but it doesn't really. It's just, you get the bourbon, you get the rye. Yeah, this is really well blended. I can't say that enough. This is so good. Now, right there, I get a little bit more of the rye, and this came through as a little bit of an herbal kind of thing going there. Now I still get the fruit, and I still get the chocolate and the caramel. It's like you had a little dehydrated cherries, and you put it in your mouth with like a Milky Way, and just chewed it all at the same time. Yeah, that, and then it finishes clean, like, you know, with the rye aspects. So, and there's the oak. I do get a little bit of that peppery on this, which I think really works. It's there enough to tell you it's there, and then it kind of rides out, and it lets the barrel, and it lets some vanilla, and, you know, barrel. I would say the barrel vanilla and a little bit of caramel kind of rides through the finish, and wow, these are so good. Clint, thank you for these. These are amazing. Now, I'm gonna pick a favorite. It's kind of hard to do because these are kind of like apples and oranges. You've got a wine finished rye over here, and you've got a bourbon rye blend over here, and although they ride under the initial label of Arctic Spirit, they're really two of their own critters. They don't really fall in line under one particular thing, and I think that's really kind of neat to me, that that they didn't let themselves be pigeonholed into one type of whiskey. It almost feels like the Arctic Spirit is more of an experiment, and I really think that's cool. So, for a favorite, let's see. This is a hard call because they're both really good. But I think of the two, I think I like the Volume 2 more. It doesn't win hands down, because there's really good things about this and really good things about this. It's kind of like that race where, you know, they're going neck and neck, and you're not exactly sure who's going to win, and then right at the end, one of them just pokes out a little bit more and breaks that ribbon at the finish line. And for me, it's the Volume 2. Wow. I don't know if they're making a Volume 3. It might already be out. I don't know. But if there's a Volume 3, I'm going to be looking for it. I'm really looking forward to more of these samples that Clint sent. And FYI, all of the samples he sent were from Evernorth. So there's going to be some Spirit Walker and some Exodus and some different essence picks. And I am so down for that. So I'm going to finish these off camera, and I'll just say this. Find yourself a bottle of Evernorth. And in this case, this amazing Arctic Spirit. And crack that baby open, share it with your friends, and until next time, cheers.